Okay. We're on YouTube.
What's going on, everyone? Episode, I don't even know anymore. We have
71.
too many. 71. Ben, Ryan, Chase back at it for our weekly Tuesday night podcast. AFR, sports talk, terrible, great, super bad, but amazing sports takes. How's everyone doing tonight? You ready for tonight?
Do it. We got the Mets on. We're about to come back and win the game. And I'm ready to go to the game on Thursday. See the Mets win.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing, Chase?
I'm good. Excited to be here, talk NBA free agency with you guys. Excited from all that action.
Yeah. Yeah, and did anyone watch the fight on Saturday night?
Saw bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
Disappointed I didn't see the whole thing, but
the Vegas cards are getting just like I can't stay up for them anymore. It's just unless it's like something I really try to, like the main event just is so late. I just can't.
Have they gotten later or have you just gotten older?
I've just gotten older.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the main event, I don't know when that one was, but normally they'll end up being like 12 or like 1 or I don't know. There's some crazy time.
Yeah, not that long ago, I would finish that card and then watch another card on Fight Pass, and it would be like 3 a.m. and I'd be totally fine with it. And
like
now
back
I
when we
can wait till like 10:30.
Back when we lived together, you'd watch the card and then
Yeah.
you would be like still like playing and watching something else.
Yeah, just kept on trucking right after the
Yeah.
card. Now it's like I'm barely awake. It's almost a haze.
Yeah.
What about Ben? What about your daughter? Has she started watching any of the prelims with you yet, or is she?
No.
No.
She's watched some Mets games, so she did some Go Mets chants.
Okay.
Um,
I'll give her props as a 1.5-year-old being able to watch a baseball game. I feel like she's probably doing better than you are, Ben.
yeah, maybe she'll be at her Thursday. It'll be her third MLB game.
Third MLB game.
Yeah.
So she's seen her favorite team. It'll be twice, and then her second favorite team once.
Her second favorite team.
The Orioles.
Orioles.
Hey, all I'm saying is there's a case in Ben's basement, and it says Luis's first baseball game, and there's like O stuff in there. I know they were playing the Mets, but there was
They
O
were
stuff
playing
in
the
there.
Mets. There's also a sign that says her first Mariners game, and she's not a Mariners fan.
Okay. Do you
So-
hate the Orioles? I know we're not.
I'm gonna hate them more and more.
Oh my gosh, you're one of those likable teams ever.
I don't hate them. They're just not. There's no second favorite team for me in baseball. It's Mets and everyone else. There's no second favorite.
Is there like your 30th favorite?
30th out of 30.
Yeah,
The
like
Yankees.
you have. Okay, so you have a favorite and a least favorite, and I'm
Yeah.
assuming the other NL East teams are also down there.
It's hard to hate the Marlins that much.
Uh,
I feel like the Marlins just shoot themselves in the foot.
yeah. Okay. Mets, Yankees, and then everyone else. I like it.
This Phillies team isn't as like I don't dislike them as much as like previous Philly teams for it, like just so you guys know.
Okay.
Like I
thought the 08 team was more likable than this
okay.
team. But maybe it's just because I was a kid
Yes.
and I enjoyed it.
This team though to me isn't as like there's no one on that team that I like don't like. Like Reese Hoskins might have been like my least favorite and he's gone. So
Okay.
as far as like Philly guys.
All right. But let's get into it, Ben.
Yeah, let's go into some basketball. So
Yeah.
well, let's go right down through. So we're gonna talk some NBA free agency. We're gonna talk some MLB. Maybe touch on a little WNBA, and then we got a Christopher Bell update. Keep us in the loop in NASCAR as well. So had a big week last week, and I have no idea what happened this week, so I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah.
But all right, NBA free agency. It was stuff's still going to be happening. By the time we're recording this, I'm sure a lot of news will drop after this, and until the podcast goes live on
It's
Spotify.
crazy.
But I mean, yeah, we want to touch on a bunch of stuff. I know you guys, Sixers fans, had some big moves, but yeah, all up and down the league. There's been lots of moves. I'll talk first. Not Mikal. But I guess Bridges.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the
Miles.
Bridges. Yeah.
but yeah, that was pretty cool.
No. Who is that? Who is Dylan Brooks?
That-
Dennis Brooks.
Yeah.
Remember Ben used to talk about Dennis Brooks from college days.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Anyways,
But Bridges reuniting Villanova even more, which is kind of ridiculous. But Bridges is a great pickup for them. I mean, the most durable NBA player in the league. Something they need, something, it'll be interesting to see. You got the most durable player in the league against the coach who runs all of his players in the ground the absolute most. And so who's going to win that battle? I don't know, but I'm excited. Bridges is just a good addition. They did let Hartenstein go because they didn't re-sign him. So they definitely need a backup because Robinson you cannot rely on him for 82 games. So they'll need to fill that hole. But it'll be an exciting season. They have a lot of depth. I mean, right now.
That's what I was about to say. Thibodeau, I mean, there's the trade deadline, which every team makes moves. But Thibodeau is going to have to play at least 8 or 9 guys.
And they have, off the bench right now, they have Hart, DiVincenzo, and McBride all guards off the bench who are that's a great 8-man rotation to have. Yeah,
minimum. And obviously on other nights, 9, 10, 11.
So and he needs to use that. Those are 8 quality guys. And having a guy like Josh Hart off the bench is huge. So, I'm excited for the team, and it'll, last year wasn't a down year. So hopefully we can just build on that, and, maybe Thibodeau will have learned a couple things too. But
do you think the Knicks just there had to been a little bit of I feel like clout chasing involved trying bring 4 Nova guys together? I mean, it worked really well in college, and they're all legitimate NBA players now. It's just crazy to me how. I mean, I remember watching the NBA, and it was Kyle Lowry was the only guy from Villanova in the entire league, and now you have 4 guys on one team.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably recruitment by the guys to bring him to the Knicks. It'd be funny to see if this year doesn't go as planned, they bring in Jay Wright or something, just really complete it all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say they're going as far as the Lakers are with drafting Bronny James, but it's just crazy to me that. Because they were all teammates too.
But they're all friends, and so they're probably, there's probably some chemistry they're hoping to, key in on, and there's definitely some of that. Doesn't hurt. So, but you guys, talk maybe some Sixers now, and then we could even go after that around the league. But
well, and NBA is crazy because it's draft, free agency, bang bang. But for a second with the draft. I feel like we talked about there was not much hype this year in the draft. I mean, no one really sticks out, and so it was almost like teams are just getting through the draft so that we could hit free agency.
Yeah, there'll be some guys that end up being good players, but there was no Victor Wembanyama or any guy like that who's a standout.
Yeah, but it gives me hope that you could find somebody later in the draft, where the Sixers were potentially picking in the late 20s, where you can hit on somebody because no one was paying attention. So
yeah,
true.
Although, it seems today it sucks. You could look back and, even look at the COVID year, the 2020 draft. There was a lot of people who you didn't expect would be contributors that came from all sorts of slots in that draft.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally agree. But so Paul George, big elephant in the room. You guys got Paul George. How are we feeling? How are we feeling about that?
I think so far overall, obviously, Cap, you wouldn't have one of the best off seasons since getting Joel Embiid without signing a player like Paul George. But from top to bottom, and I know if things don't go as great as they plan, they might have to blow up their team at the deadline, and I'll just be pissed again every year. But for right now, this is the first year in 3 years they're setting their team up before even the preseason. We had the James Harden drama, we had the Ben Simmons drama. Before that, we had rotating other all-stars coming in and out. Jimmy Butler was there for half a year, bought a jersey, complete brick. I'm super excited with the Paul George signing, but I'm excited by how they've gone about free agency so far. I actually, for once, I'm going to give Maury some credit here. I think Andre Drummond should have never left. I'm excited he's back on a nice 2-year deal. Kelly Oubre brought great energy to the floor last year. was like immediately just like open arms into the Philly crowd. Big fan of him. Signed him again. Obviously, I'm super sad to see Tobias go. Probably one of the only Sixers fans that are. But when you're there, he was there for 6 years, and I really feel like he gave it his all most nights.
My
And
God.
it is. I mean, I feel like it's like on brand for him. He probably just took the bag.
You're on the 0.01% on that one.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure he just took the bag in Detroit. I mean, he'll probably have all-star numbers this year, but I mean,
That's a bold statement.
on the Pistons,
That's still all-star.
I'm not saying he's going to be an
Tobias
all-star.
Harris?
I'm not saying he's
Okay.
going to be an all-star. I'm saying he's going to have all-star numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is just crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like Chase, like, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago was when LeBron signed in LA. And, like, that was like there was so much like, oh, can we get LeBron James? Can we get LeBron James? And then just everything from there on out was just a complete whiff. Not necessarily in the draft. The draft's gotten better, but in the free agency aspect of it. And this is just like, I know he's 34 now, but I'm so excited to have Paul George. I feel like he'll be great because he doesn't need the ball in his hands like James Harden did or like Ben Simmons did or even Jimmy Butler. Like, this is a guy who can be your number one scorer some nights, your number one defender other nights. Every once in a while could give you both, and he doesn't even need the ball in his hands.
Yeah. I really hope he does what we all thought Tobias was going to abusively do for 6 years and never did. And that's just be somewhat consistent. I am worried about the age. I'm worried about the money. But the biggest thing I'm still happy about is that they didn't have to spend picks to get him. Like, I like our position in that we're at right now. I like the moves. And I like that we still have draft picks so we can still make another move because it's not like we're going to play the season today, right now. I don't think they would beat the Knicks in the series. I don't think they would beat the Celtics. But if they're able to add a few more pieces and then just let the NBA do what the NBA does, maybe somebody wants out and then they can use their picks and acquire somebody and do some damage that way. Because right now you have 3 people, but just as the Celtics shown you, the more people you have, the better. So I feel like it used to be 3 people who would get the deal done, and now you have to have a really competent starting lineup and be able to go deep into a series. So hopefully Paul George can do that. I mean, he's definitely late in his career at this point, and he's coming from a Clippers team that I feel like had no bite to them. And I don't know, it makes me kind of concerned that they didn't want to pay him, and he just kind of went to the person who was going to bid him the most money because this is realistically the last time he's going to get paid.
Yeah.
If we're being completely honest.
Yes.
It's probably going to be the last time he's going to get
Yeah.
a super max deal and everything else with that. But I don't know. We'll see. There's still a lot that has to shake out, but I'm definitely more happy to be in a position in the summertime to have a mostly full roster instead of just contemplating all year, then up to the deadline, and then nothing happens, and we're just stuck with a team that didn't do anything for a better part of a year. So overall, I like the moves. This is the NBA, and you have to spend money to do it. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But I think the biggest thing was we didn't have to give up anything in a sign trade, and we still have valuable picks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a Tobias Harris or an Al Horford type deal, but it's Paul George. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
All right, so bringing on that question for you guys. Will Paul George bring Philly a championship?
I mean, I think as the team is right now today, barring some crazy bounces of the ball, no. But I think he could be a really great contributor if they add another piece. I think they're pretty set if they could do that.
I honestly, I put way too much optimism in sports, and I'm just going to do it because the season hasn't even started yet. I'm going to say, yes, he can. I feel like the most like overshadowed part of Paul George's career was like his prime. Cause like everyone knows him from the Pacers days. That's when he was young and consistently getting the conference championships. I know he never went to any finals, but he was playing LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh on like one of the best teams that we've seen since we've been alive. And he was the leader of that Pacers squad that had, Roy Hibbert, David West, George Hill, like names, but it wasn't like a bunch of, all-star superstars. And yes, he's 34 now. Big point you made, Chase, was the bite. I had so much faith in the Clippers. I thought him and Kawhi Leonard could easily win one, if not two championships at the minimum. And between injuries and just no bite, they never had that success. And the only other team he's been on was he played on the Thunder a couple years. And that was just a weird team because that was when Russell Westbrook literally wanted the ball 99% of the time. And Melo was also on those teams. So it was really weird. Paul George and Melo kind of played the same offensive position on those couple teams. Not much success there. But yes, he's 34 now. But asking a guy who's led teams at the age of 22 to be your number 3, I don't think's a lot to ask. And it does get a little scary with the 4-year contract. I always think of the Al Horford one, which was just a complete bust. Then somehow he got better again on the Celtics. Regardless of that, Paul George, I think, has plenty left in the tank. I mean, his serious injury was probably like 10 years ago now on the U.S. men's national team, and he bounced back from that. And I don't know, maybe this will give him a new spark, and he won't have to do as much. And I mean, he can easily hit 5 threes a game, and a lot of times Tobias Harris was in a situation to have to shoot a bunch of threes, and that wasn't even really his specialty. So I think this will be great for Paul George, and I do think it could win them a championship. And I just want one. I literally just want one. I don't want Joel Embiid to become like Allen Iverson, and I think Paul George is the missing piece.
I will say from a non-Sixers fan perspective, I think it's a move the Sixers had to make because it's bringing a star to the team, and it's bringing another scorer if Embiid or someone goes down that can continue carrying the team. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a championship. I don't think they're going to win a championship with this team, but I think it's right now a necessary move.
Do you think they can make it to the finals?
Not right now in the East.
Do you think they make it to the conference finals?
No, I think honestly.
What? So they're losing in the second round again?
The Knicks are better than them, and that's not. I don't feel that's bias. I feel like the Knicks team is so much deeper right now than the Sixers. They do not have the depth to compete.
Yeah, I think the Sixers are better than the Knicks right now, Ben.
You think they have more depth? The Knicks have 8 guys that could be a starter anywhere in this league right now.
Yeah, but I don't.
Who are you getting down with 7 and 8?
I don't think they can. I don't think they can guard Joel Embiid, Ben. I think if they get into a series,
Mitchell
again,
Robinson probably can't guard Joel Embiid, but that's still just one guy.
I think the Sixers, if they matched up with the Knicks in the playoffs again, would win.
Oh yeah, because Paul George's physicality in the playoffs has been real good.
Do you not like the Paul George signing? Or you just
I think it's a good signing for the Sixers right now, but I don't think it's going to bring him a championship. That's all. We've talked about Paul George plenty of times in his playoffs and his lack of winning in the playoffs. It's just a fact. I know,
but he's not like
he has not run into the LeBron James teams every single year. Okay, he did run into them some, and granted, some of those Pacers teams weren't great, but he's been. I mean, he was on a stacked Clippers team. I know, Kawhi. That whole thing didn't turn out, but that was supposed to be a kind of a super team when they.
I agree. That was a flop. The Clippers were a flop.
A
lot of injuries, but no excuses. They were a flop.
I mean, so I think it's a move the Sixers had to make with the climate of the NBA right now, and I don't think it's a bad move. The East it's become a lot tougher. The East has become a lot tougher. You still have the Bucks with a healthy Giannis and Dame could easily win too. So it's and that's Chris on that team. So it's going to be a tough.
Oh my gosh, I love Chris Middleton, but like.
No, but he's a good 3. He's a good third option.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm not saying take Chris Middleton and start your team.
No, and I shouldn't actually have any trash because Chris Middleton has a championship. So,
but the East has become tougher. It's become a tougher. It's not and you got the Magic who have been coming up.
Stop. Stop. You've gone too far.
The Magic were a higher seed than the Sixers, bruh.
That's not going to happen again.
Okay.
And it doesn't. The seeding doesn't matter. The seeding doesn't matter. You just got to make the playoffs.
It means that the Magic were a better team in the regular season. I know you still have to make the playoffs.
I shouldn't say seeding doesn't matter. Seeding does matter, but
it does matter because if you guys, whoever was coming out of that matchup against the Knicks was not winning the next round. We like berated each other.
Yeah,
both teams got like destroyed after that.
Yeah, I mean,
I will last thing, Chase. And I'll pass it to you. Ben's point of like, I mean, we're at the point now where like there's like no reason Embiid basically like he could leave if he wanted to leave. We're at that point. He's won the Sixers for a decade now, so it is like kind of a last resort, save the team. Morey's been there now a couple of years. This will be Nick Nurse's second year. This is their first time building a full team in the regular season or in the off season for the regular season. Ben's point is valid, but I do think it could work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely there, and I was just talking about the draft picks, and by no means I think that they should trade those picks and do it soon. I mean, this lineup's all right, but they're still missing a piece. I don't know where it is, what position. It could be a guard, it could be another forward, but you got to find somewhere along the lines to fill in this gap because it can't just be up to Maxey if Embiid goes down. It can't be up to Embiid if those guys go down. Like, it's just there's too much that can go down, and I feel like with the system that Nick Nurse runs, it's like he needs people that can be step up in all sorts of different positions. So if they can unload these picks and bring in one more person, I'm definitely in on the thing. I think that they can make a run, and the playoffs were funky this year. I mean, like you just said, Ben, we took each other out basically, and then the Pacers got an easy walk, and the Bucks went out, did absolutely nothing, and gave the Pacers like a runway almost. So I mean, that can happen, and people can just unfold. And I mean, as long as Doc Rivers is going to coach people, I'm pretty sure that the Bucks are going to be a runway for people to make the playoffs and go further. So I'll take my odds with that. But if they can just get one more, not even just good role player, I'm talking like elite player of some sort, of whatever that is, I think that this team is pretty well set, and it's probably going to be the best lineup since they had Jimmy Butler, and like an actual complete roster lineup of people that can just kill you from all angles.
Yeah. And the team with Jimmy Butler, yes, Jimmy Butler is like lethal, right? But Embiid wasn't full MVP yet. He was still dealing with a lot of injuries in the early part of his career. And they had like a bunch of young bucks on the team, like Covington, Saric. Like, I don't know. They were just, and I still think they could have won the championship that year if Kawhi's shot if they didn't drop in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like you said, I mean, it's nice. I don't mind them, especially if they wait till the deadline to make that move, Chase. Like you said, see what you need most and then go all in on someone who might not be as happy somewhere else. But, I mean, like, why not? I know there are reasons, but, like, I'm already wanting to buy a Paul George jersey. I'm not gonna, but, like, I'm excited. I'm so excited. The last 2 seasons we've gone in with just drama and players just like sitting and not wanting to play. Like, I'm just so excited.
Yeah. I mean, I am happy that he chose to be here. I mean, he could have dragged this thing out forever and brought the Lakers into it and brought in a bunch of people who like probably don't even have the money to acquire him. But it was nice that he just made the decision right away. And it seemed like him and Joel have had this thing going, at least on the back burner, for a few months now where, I feel like Joel doesn't really make a whole lot of requests. And if he did make the Paul George thing, I'm glad that the Sixers finally bucked up and did it. But because the window's closing, let's be honest here. Like, it kind of sucks the way the last 3 years ended. And I think when you get an opportunity like this, you got to just unload the tank. I don't really care. If it means that we're going to be losing in the next few years, then fine. But you don't get an opportunity for a championship like this that many times. And it sucks that all these other teams are swelling the way they are, like the Celtics and the Knicks. But I don't know. This is the Sixers' best chance. It sucks that we've like gotten to this position out of how many chances we've had since we got Joel and started this whole thing. It's been absolutely wild, but I don't know. Who knows? I think Drummond's going to help them a lot this year, especially when Embiid can't get inside the paint for whatever reason. He's just fishing out by the 3-point line. At least somebody will be there to rebound. That absolutely killed us in the playoffs last few years.
Even Embiid, like when I mean, we all at this point, he's not going to be 100% playoff time. Like if he's out there, that's all I need. But you can see he really loses his efforts on the rebound. His defense doesn't even slack that much, but it's rebounding. And Drummond can easily get 20 rebounds a game. I mean, Drummond's one of those guys that he's just been like shunned by the NBA throughout like a majority of his career. And I get it. Oh yeah, he's in like a traditional big guy. That's not today's NBA, but he's a great NBA player. I loved him on the Sixers the first time. Thought they should not have gotten rid of him. Ended up signing him back. And yeah, he's going to be great. Also love Paul Reed, but also not a huge rebounder. I think Drummond's just going to gobble up so much underneath the basket and just be able to kick it to Tyrese in transition and help out so much.
Yeah, and we can move on to a couple of other NBA free agency signings.
Oh yeah, I forgot there was other signings.
I will say, Ryan, you are always, I listen to you every year coming to the Sixers season thinking they're going to win a championship. So the Sixers are lucky to have you.
Paul George is lucky that I'm going to be behind him.
All right.
I mean, seriously, all Paul George has to do is just be somewhat consistent, and everyone's just going to want to back it up on him.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the way Toby abused us last year, I know you don't feel that way, Ryan, but the way he really legitimately tortured us and abused us was god-awful. I mean, to have 0 points in some games and your name's not PJ Tucker, there's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a win of a trade. You basically got rid of Tobias Harris and got Paul George. Like,
and
that's a win. There's no doubt about it.
And there's no pressure on Paul George. When he was on the Pacers, he had pressure.
Some pressure.
There's the
Sixers, the Philly.
For himself, there might be some pressure, but
I mean, he's going to a Philly team that's desperate for a chip. There's some pressure.
I mean, I'm definitely kind of mad I'm paying a number 3 Supermax money, but it is what it is.
There's pressure.
Just,
Embiid's window's closing, like Chase said. There's some pressure there.
Yes, but I don't think like he doesn't have to carry the pressure.
No. That's why. I mean, no, they signed him. He could be the third option as long as everyone's healthy.
Okay. The only thing it was the money is it's an intense 4-year deal to make to a 34-year-old when there's always been so much uncertainty and inconsistency. So, but we'll see.
But other free agents. So I guess another one, we had Chris Paul go to the Spurs.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Interesting.
That's my favorite.
It's a good one. It feels like the Thunder a few years ago when he went there and everyone thought like
they're going to be garbage.
He's not going to even play. And then they actually were good.
Chris Paul is the type of player the NBA needs. I mean, you think he would really win a championship? I mean, he tried, he went to Golden State. He's played on a bunch of powerhouse teams. I remember last year when Wemby won Rookie of the Year, he literally said, something along the lines of, I want to be throwing lobs you one day. Boom, immediately signs. Like, that's great for Wemby. Pop's going to love having someone he doesn't have to try to mold. That's some random rookie from Australia. And, that's my favorite one. Always like the Spurs. I think Chris Paul will be a good fit there. Not saying they're going to win, but that's my favorite outside of Paul George.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I thought a sneaky signing was the Clippers signing Kevin Porter Jr. I know he had really bad legal problems, but like when he was playing, he was averaging 20 points, I think.
Yeah. Is he good? Is he good to go now?
I have no idea. He played in Greece last year, and yeah, but they signed him to a deal, like a 2-year deal. So I imagine whatever happened is done with now. But he signed for a minimum contract.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I did see DeRozan's not expected to return to the Bulls, and right now there's interest between him and the Heat, so that'd be interesting.
Well, he'd be a really good fit on the Heat.
I
want to know also. I feel like we have to talk about Klay Thompson because the Warriors, the most dominant run of our life. I know the Spurs is ridiculous that the amount of success the Warriors had in such a short window. This is like the official end. I know the last 2 years have been rough for Klay Thompson and Golden State, but crazy that this is officially coming to an end on a big three that I did not think would be as successful as Curry, Thompson, and Draymond. Still don't know how they were that successful, but they were. Does Klay Thompson help the Mavs in any way? Because I feel like it's just a weird signing for the Mavs, who are already like guard heavy.
Yeah. I mean, I think anyone that just put a 0 up in a playoff game, excluding if your name's not Tobias Harris or Klay Thompson, you're probably a bum at this point. Which I feel bad for. He's a prolific shooter, could score in bunches, but I just think he's like cooked. I don't think he's really got anything left. But if they just want somebody who can stand in the corner and pop threes all game, then I think that's a win for the Mavs.
It's just weird because you just watch them basically lose because of their, 3, 4, 5 guys essentially.
Or it might just be that championship presence of having a guy who's been there to be a mentor to.
Yeah, but they had Kyrie.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Klay.
It's a weird one. It's like more intense that it's like the end. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I think the Warriors have kind of feel like they've shot themselves in the foot a little bit over the last few years. Just some of the moves, like I don't know. They drafted Wiseman 2nd overall. That obviously didn't work out. The Jordan Poole trade hasn't worked out great for the Wizards either, but it hasn't really worked out for anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of
the Chris Paul.
Chris Paul obviously didn't work.
Yeah, which I don't ever see that working, but
no.
Did they have Russell for a while too? D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah. D'Angelo Russell.
I guess that was when Steph Curry was hurt, but
yeah, that's when they had Russell, and those were like the 1 or 2 weird bad years, and then they started like popping.
But still, like you're saying, they didn't capitalize on any of those high picks they got from sucking those few years. Like they pretty much. I mean, they got Kuminga, I think, from one of them, but it's not like he's like totally changed their team.
No, and I don't know what happened to Wiseman. Now he's just rotting away.
He actually just signed with somebody I saw today.
Did he?
Yeah, but he was with like Detroit, I think, or something like that.
I mean, they passed on like LaMelo Ball, which I know LaMelo has not been great, but I feel like even at the time, people thought LaMelo was at least something.
Patrick Williams, if he can stay healthy, has been a solid player on the Bulls.
Yeah. Obviously, Halliburton at 12 is looking like a great pick. And
this is the 2020 NBA draft.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey and Emmanuel quickly, but yeah.
Oh, speaking of Nova guys, where's Sadiq Bey doing? Should the Knicks pick him up?
He's a free agent right now.
Because they didn't have Arcidiacono at one point last year too, man.
They still did. He just didn't play.
I mean,
they might sign him. I think they're looking for. Last I heard, the Knicks were shopping for a center. They were talking like with Walker Kessler, and I was like, oh.
And so Julius Randle's still there.
Yeah. Well, his contract, I think, is through this year. I think this is his contract year coming up. But yeah,
it's been exciting. I think the draft wasn't as bad either, but it was almost like a lot of teams were just getting through it to get to free agency.
Are there any other NBA free agency you guys want to talk about before we move on?
Did we touch on Paul George yet?
I think we talked about it a little bit. All right, well let's dive in a little MLB. We won't spend long on this. Briefly, Mets back at 500. They had a best record in baseball in June. I mean, with the way the NL wild card is right now, they're like 1 game out. So just happy to see that team. And I just can't say enough good things about Francisco Alvarez. I think he is my new. And I don't want to say new, but he is I think he's my favorite player in the majors right now.
He passed Lindor for your favorite Met?
Yeah, the favorite Met and favorite player in the majors. I think he's there. He's going to stay there.
Well, okay, wait. How often is your favorite player in the majors not a Met? I feel like I can name one person, and it was Barry Bonds. And that was
Barry Bonds was not my favorite player when he was playing because Mike Piazza was also playing.
My gosh.
At the same time.
So, okay, name a non-favorite Met, name a non-Met favorite player in the MLB.
Okay, that's fair. But
so your favorite Met?
Yes, favorite Met, which corresponds to being favorite player. But he's still just 22, and since he's come back, the Mets team has been great. All the pitchers have talked highly about him. Even last year when he was a rookie, like Verlander and Scherzer said they were just he was one of the best catchers they had caught with, just couldn't say enough good things. I mean, every night he's bringing energy. He's like, I mean, we were watching the game tonight. They're down 2-0, a dinker, and he's a catcher, and he beat out an infield single to second base. Like, you don't see catchers like hustling, doing that type of stuff. And I enjoy when he just watching him play. But the team's been really good. The bats have come alive. Mark Vientos is hitting over 300 with 10 home runs as their starting third baseman. Fielding still needs some work, but I mean, the bats have been fantastic. Lindor's, on pace for about a 15 home run, 15 stolen base all-star break. And so he's on track potentially for another 30-30 year. They just need some pitching help. And so they'll have some decisions to make come the deadline. We definitely don't want to just sell off because we've done that way too many times in the past, but we have to.
They've definitely made their case. Yeah. I don't sometimes, especially with how many games are in the MLB, I hate when teams sell sometimes. Although I whiffed last year with the Angels. I know I did, but I'm glad for your Mets' sake that they have played themselves back into the point to make their clubhouse and their management team like not just be like, oh, let's just sell again.
Well, they were, I mean, coming into June, they were at one point, they were 11 games under 500. So it was definitely looking bad. It was, I mean, they were third worst record in the NL, and they just popped off in June. And, so we were lucky, and I'm excited. Just, it's, the team is fun to watch. The energy is a lot better. And if we can just get some more pitching help, Kodai Senga is finally going to have a rehab start. So that's huge for them. And so hopefully we'll continue on from here. The Phillies are just cruising. So I'm just trying to sneak into a wild card, and that'd be super exciting. I know the Phillies obviously have had some injuries, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really have a whole lot on the Phillies other than the injuries, but they don't sound as bad as they looked. And,
Yeah.
Chase, I want to hear. Chase, were you excited? Because I mean, I'm not going to say you were excited, but Walker had the injury, right? So then you think Turnbull is going to become in the rotation for at least a couple starts, but then he goes down. Were you like excited for Turnbull to be in the rotation?
Yeah, I was looking forward to it. I think he's a decent starter so far this year. Like, I don't think he was doing anything that made you feel like he couldn't be back then rotation guy. And I only really feel like Taijuan Walker is getting starts like this because he's getting paid a lot of money. So they can't really justify putting him in the bullpen, whereas Turnbull is only on a 1-year deal, pretty much a minimum. So, I don't know. Taijuan Walker is kind of having the Tobias Harris effect right now, where he's starting to show that he can be somewhat replaceable, and he's just making a lot of money too, which is a problem. And he didn't even pitch in the playoffs last year. I know it was his choice, but
they were paying all this money that they didn't play him in the playoffs last year. And I'm not saying that's an excuse to play bad this year, but
yeah. And even when he has pitched, he's been somewhat effective, but I feel like he really only goes 5 innings sometimes, and just he gets himself into trouble in 1 inning, and it skyrockets his pitch count. And I just don't feel like he has the stuff that's going to help you in your bullpen out right now. So I don't really know what they did with that or how they get out of it. But I mean, he's hurt, and now Turnbull's hurt, so they're really looking for options pitching. But
I feel like Taijuan Walker and Ranger Suarez almost like flip-flop. Walker had so many wins last year, and Suarez, Thompson was big on as soon as he got into trouble in like the 4th or 5th playoffs or regular season would pull him, and that's kind of how Walker is right now. So it's almost like they kind of switched. Obviously, Rangers having a ridiculously better year than Walker did last year, but
Suarez might be the Cy Young candidate favorite right now. He's been pitching ridiculously.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what they do. They're going to have to make some kind of move, though, add some kind of arms. It doesn't have to be a top end of the rotation guy, but definitely need to fill out this roster. And Whit Merrifield has been doing absolutely nothing all year. He's just occupying a spot on their roster. I don't feel like he's going to make it that much longer. So they probably need another backup infielder, definitely some pitching help, and maybe another bat for the outfield. But overall, I like where they're at. They just got to keep it going because I feel like once we get to the deadline, or even just even to the All-Star break and before the deadline, things can switch and teams can get hot. And I mean, the Mets looked like they were dead, took a trip to London, and now they're back to life. So
annoying.
Sometimes.
And also, Chase, I mean, talk about who they did solidify was Christopher Sanchez and sign him to a 4-year extension. Next time out, complete game shutout, just super efficient. He was averaging like 11 or 12 pitches an inning, just mowed through the order 3.5 times. And I want to point out again and again and again that I was a hater in the beginning of his career. I was like, oh yeah, what is he like 0-1 the whole year, like 5.0 ERA. But whenever I saw like pitching highlights with him compared to Bumgarner, I was like, oh, it's kind of like the similar arm slot. And now he's just like gaining momentum in that last start right after getting a 4-year extension, like not disappointing at all. That was awesome to see. Super, super fan of Christopher Sanchez now. Similar to your Christopher Bell, having a lot of success right now, but this one on the mound, not on the track.
Next jersey.
Christopher Sanchez?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, you're gonna get a Phillies like jersey. Was there?
It would be
who's your favorite current player?
Real Muto. And I just bought Chase a Real Muto jersey. Is he your favorite, Chase?
Yeah, I would say he's in the top like 3 of the guys who I'm like interested in. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely my favorite right now. But I like catchers because I just think they're so like they never get the credit they deserve. So
all my favorite players have been catchers.
All right, we finally agreed on something. Okay. That was such an awkward handshake.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of room here. But before we get off of the MLB, I just wanted to quickly bring up Mr. Corey Lewis. Obviously was on our podcast a few months ago. So bring up his stats. He has been back pitching for Double-A. He's had 3 starts, 10 innings total, so it hasn't gone deep into games, but it's currently got a 2.61 ERA. His last outing, he only went 3.1 innings. He did have 4 walks and 3 hits, but no runs and 3 Ks. So 2.61 ERA. I mean, his career minors ERA in his career is 2.41. So he just needs to stay healthy, and he's doing great as a pitcher. So hopefully we get to see him up here, if not this year, next year.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's 2.41 in the minors. I mean, I know, the walks this year, maybe what's he got? 11 walks in 18 innings, probably needs some work with the control, but I mean, still 1.96 total in the minors this year.
Yeah.
And the Twins haven't been playing as well as they did last year. Obviously, I think it's a catch-22 for players in his position. Sometimes you want to be on the bad team to get to the majors, but other times you want to contribute to a winning team. So I think it's been awesome. I know he dealt with some injuries this year too, so he hasn't been consistently on the mound, but when he has been,
and he's back now.
So and he's currently pitching right now. I mean, all I'm going to say is if he makes it to the majors, I feel like we have to go for his debut game.
I'm 100% in. It's just sometimes they don't give you a lot of time.
Like if it's like in like I don't know.
Like James Wood, like we knew like 3 or 4 days ahead of time, but like I feel like not that Corey Lewis isn't a guy, but like someone who's not a high level prospect, they'll just like call him up like the day of or something.
Okay, well at least when he comes to the area.
Yes.
We'll go.
But I would be in. If it's against the O's or something or like Philly, we could send it.
Because he's a starting pitcher right in the minors, but he could easily be called up as a reliever, right? Or is it?
He doesn't throw hard, so it depends on what.
Starter?
That doesn't mean he can't be a reliever. It just depends on what the Twins are looking for. I don't know. I mean, you have like Derek Law on the Nats, who throws like 91 out of the bullpen, and there's guys out there who can be effective.
And he might not get hurt by throwing like 102 and
yeah. So it's
just
right now the walks have been an issue this year. I mean, 5.4 per 9 is just it's definitely a little high. So needs to get that down a little bit. But
I'm gonna blame the robot umps.
Yeah. So yeah, interesting. Just want to do a quick update on Corey there, and we can move on.
Hey, it's been a pretty cool story, and I know there's been, he was already established minor league pitcher when we interviewed him, but since then, I mean, what's it been? Has it been over a year?
No, it was the off season.
It was last winter time,
yeah.
so it's been like 9 months or something since we spoke with him, and I feel like he's already making even more strides. So Corey Lewis, shout out to you, and we're definitely still rooting for you, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, well, let's move on. Talk WNBA for like 2 minutes, and then we can move on to some Christopher Bell stuff.
Ben, WNBA update brought to you by For the Fun of the Hobby. Check out sports cards at For the Fun of the Hobby's Instagram. All right, Ben, what do we got on the WNBA talk today?
All right, so I'm just going to share the standings quick. So we got pretty dominant top half right now with not the Aces in it. I mean, the Aces are 5th, but I mean, you have the Liberty, Sun, and Lynx who are kind of been running the league. The Lynx are I forget what they call it for the WNBA, the conference in-season tournament champions.
What does that mean?
Boo.
No, but so I don't mind it with the WNBA because they get a lump sum of like $500,000 or $600,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
For the at WNBA and what they get paid, like that's actually a big deal. That could essentially double a lot of players' salaries.
Yes,
in the WNBA.
So what does it mean though for the Lynx? Does that guarantee them a playoff spot?
No.
So it's
basically the pay.
So why do they have the C by the 3? That tells me like they clinched something.
I know, that's what I thought at first. I was like, they already clinched a spot.
No, I think it just means the champion. I'm pretty sure that's what
I have a problem with.
Okay.
Well, that's an ESPN thing. I don't know how to deal with that.
All right, well,
ESPN.
About to get an earful.
Okay.
So anyways,
but
no. You're right. Pay wise,
yeah. So I think I don't mind it for the WNBA. The NBA, it's so freaking stupid. I hate it. But the WNBA, because at least that is like a big deal, and so I understand the players wanting that more because I mean that's the WNBA doesn't get paid, nearly the same amount, and so like to have that opportunity for players who are, getting paid $40,000 a year. I mean that's huge. So. But
so the Lynx won that. So all those players got a big payday. I'm sure maybe 2 or 3 got some money, but they got the big payday for that.
Yeah. Surprising couple of things. Dallas Wings way down here. I thought they were going to be a lot better this year. Arika Gogali is still doing well, but Tiara McCowan hasn't done well. That team just kind of fallen, down. Indiana's been better, but like I thought in the beginning, they still aren't going to be a great team. And they're going to struggle against some of these top tier teams. And then, I mean, the Sun's fun to watch because they're a complete team. They kind of have like 3 or 4 ladies who can score the ball like easily. And the Lynx have one of the like breakout candidates of the year, Nafisha Collier, I think is her name.
Yep.
So 20.9 points. She's been great for them. And then, I mean, Vegas is going to get in. It's just a matter of what they do. But Aja Wilson is having like one of the best years in WNBA history.
That's insane. With all the hype around everything else and the Caitlin Clark stuff and trying to it's just ridiculous.
So I don't remember the exact number, but I think last year Jewel Lloyd was the most points per game ever in WNBA history. It was like 24.2. So the fact that she's averaging 26.9 this year is insane.
We're like halfway through the season.
Yeah, we're about halfway. I mean, he's just, dominating.
Holy smokes.
And if you look at her, like, basketball reference page, which, I'm a sucker for the stats. She's just been, like, a dominant, like, just every year, she's already got 2 MVPs. She's got 2 back-to-back Defensive Player of the Years.
Ooh.
She's got 1 or 2 titles.
She retires now. She's an instant Hall of Famer still.
Probably 2-time MVP, 2-time WNBA champ. So she's putting together a run, and then, but yeah.
Do you have an NBA comparison for Aja Wilson? Have you thought about it?
An NBA comparison for Aja Wilson. Right, a current NBA player.
Anybody. Anyone that just makes you think of her. I mean, they're still at I feel like they're still kind of at the trailblazing stages. I know they're a lot more established, but teams have still been rotating in and out as like established organizations. And
I don't know. I have to get back to you on that.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go with like a. It feels weird to say Shaq, because obviously she's like.
no, I know
like,
dominant force.
She's
down low.
Kind of like a power forward in the WNBA. So even though she's only 6'4", like that's pretty much a power forward almost.
Is she like Kevin Garnett? Can she shoot?
She like a Dirk.
Yeah. I just feel like because she's already got 2 MVPs and 2 Defensive Player of the Year, that's even better than like a Garnett.
Yeah.
And this year she's just doing what she wants. Like she's just not really having issues.
I will say I watched her play, and she basically it's like a regular season Luka or
the Ryan did actually watch some WNBA.
It's like a regular season.
Just like Jokic, where she's just in on everything.
Yes.
Yeah, and she has a great team around her, so that's not. But she is just, I mean,
and it literally feels like Chase. It literally feels like she's just doing what she wants. Ben couldn't have said it better out there, which is really ridiculous.
Like the game's just flowing through her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
But I mean, I think, and last thing before we can get off WNBA, I mean, everyone's.
Oh no, I have something when you're done.
Okay. Caitlin Clark, everyone was talking about her, but then you got Angel Reese, who's leading the NBA or WNBA in defense in rebounds for a rookie, which is kind of crazy. And I think she set the record for most consecutive double-doubles to start a career. So just she's doing her thing, and everyone keeps forgetting about like Ionescu and Breanna Stewart, who are carrying the Liberty and having the best record in the league. So Ryan Howard.
I'm a big Ryan Howard fan. Don't like that she's on Atlanta though. But real quick, can you just can you go back to the standings? I just have a couple questions. I'm not trying to hate on the WNBA. I just have a couple questions. First question.
Yeah.
Does the top 8 teams make the playoffs?
Yes. But we have a new team next year and a new team the following year, and then plans for 27-28. So theoretically, next 2 are definite, and the following 2 are the plan. But theoretically, we should have 4 new teams the next 4 years, which is solid.
Okay, that's okay, because the NBA has probably too many with 8 teams.
You have Golden State getting a team, and Toronto.
Great. Oh, great. That's great.
So hopefully, and then the hope is another 2. I mean, I think Philly honestly should get a team, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, my second question, and this is actually just for my least favorite WNBA team, and that's the Connecticut Sun.
Oh, your least favorite?
How do you have a singular name?
The Connecticut Sun?
Yeah, that's is there one person on the team? Like, why aren't they the Suns? That's my problem.
Because the Suns probably own that name.
So don't you? I mean, like, I just feel like they shouldn't know.
Did it come after the Mohegan Sun? Is that why it's like that? Oh, yep. Here it is. Yep, Mohegan Sun.
Dang.
What is
Mohegan Sun? Big casino complex in Connecticut.
So,
but is there just one of them?
They're really the Connecticut Mohegan Sun.
Yeah.
So they're the Connecticut casinos.
Yeah.
I just don't like that it's not plural.
I guess the team's owner also owns.
That's kind of crazy. That's like soccer teams when they have like the name like Red Bull Leipzig or whatever.
Oh, that's cool. I kind of want this jersey. Or is that 2021? The Sun Nike and WNBA releasing uniform inspired by the tribe's history. That's like the thing Matt shared about the lacrosse, the professional lacrosse.
Oh, yeah.
Who had the pro jerseys that were like representative of the like specific tribes or whatever.
Indigenous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of cool.
Oh, interesting here.
The Orlando Miracle.
And then they moved to we should look at some of the WNBA lineage because some of that's kind of nuts. I did not know that.
So they went from the Orlando Miracle of birth to the Connecticut casino.
Let's not say that.
Oh, they pulled in Knicks. They just started getting a bunch of UConn people and they went there.
Success. Oh. So
they just drafted a bunch of UConn people, so they're like, might as well move the team there.
Oh, that's true, because the UConn's really close to
the
Mohegan Casino, and because I've been to the Mohegan Casino because it was near my grandparents. UConn's not that far.
Doesn't it not sound like a team name though? The Sun.
I'm gonna get a Sun jersey. And
Let's go Sun. Let's go Sun. Like what? That doesn't even sound.
It is kind of weird.
Am I the only one?
I never really thought about it. That is not a strike.
Like there's other weird team names. Like there's the Dream. The NBA has the Heat, right? There's certain things like that, but it's still that could be like plural. But like saying like, oh, here comes the Sun.
I know. I feel like if the Spurs were the Spur. Here comes the Spur.
Yes. See,
yeah, but there's got to be other singular name teams.
I mean, there's ones that are pretty bad, but just like the Sun, just like you're starting 5 Sun, like it just doesn't. I just don't. I'm sorry.
Now I'm just gonna take all the S's off of all the team names I know. I'm just gonna refer to them that way now. The Nick, the Celtic.
Like. Well, so Magic,
the Buck, the Wolf,
the Magic. Let's go Magic.
That could be plural though.
Yeah,
that could be plural.
Heat.
The Heats.
The Heat is okay. Magic and Heat aren't good, but they could be plural. Just like the Atlanta Dream for the WNBA.
Wild.
That's pushing it. Just pushing it. I still don't think
Jazz.
That's fine.
Let's go Jazz. Sounds weird, but we've heard it enough, so it doesn't sound
okay.
The Kraken.
No, the Kraken.
That's bad.
Thunder.
There are.
No, because there's no Thunder.
Okay. Plenty of valid points. It might just be because of the Phoenix Suns that it's really throwing me off.
That's fair.
But just there are plenty of valid ones. The Heat, the Jazz, the Wild, the Kraken they can be dumb. They could have their names fixed. But the Sun, I don't know.
Okay. All right, well, let's move on. Christopher Bell. Let's get an update. I did cut you off. What was the race? Was there a race this weekend, Chase?
Yeah, it was Nashville.
Oh, okay. Let me just. That's the regular season? Oh, this is fine. It's the regular season standings.
Yeah.
Oh, you want the playoff? Let's go playoff picture.
You do the playoff picture? Yeah, because we had another driver this weekend punch a ticket into the playoffs. Joey Logano got the win. He was literally on the edge all weekend for the last few weeks, actually bubbling Bubba Wallace for that last position in the playoffs. And he just left Bubba Wallace in the dirt. He punched himself a ticket, automatically locked himself into the playoffs. That was a big win for him. For Joey Logano, his first one on the season. The only other win he had this year was at the All-Star race and banked $1 million, but I'm sure he'd much rather have a ticket into the playoffs at this point, too. Our guy, Christopher Bell, this weekend, again, dominant performance all the way up until he banged himself off the wall and essentially took himself out of the race. So it was an unfortunate event. Otherwise, I don't think anyone was going to beat him. This race actually ended up going into overtime. I think 4 overtimes. It was just nonstop action. People were running out of gas.
Oh.
Yeah, Christopher Bell with the 36th place finish. Not what we're looking for, but he had the stage wins. He was again dominant. He got points from it, so we can at least go away with that. But
sure.
Can you break down the overtime and how it works? Because I actually didn't even know that was a thing in NASCAR.
Yeah, so if there's a wreck on the last lap, it just goes into basically a 3-lap overtime, and it goes until you run those laps. So as long as there's not an accident, you can run it through. But it just kept happening where the first initial restart, somebody ran out of gas and then caused an accident, so they didn't even make it around. Then the second time went around, almost got to the final lap, and then somebody spun out. And then again, people were running out of gas, and it was just basically havoc at the end. People who were 15th, 20th ended up getting top top 10 finishes just by virtue of the fact people in front of them were dropping like flies at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
It was
Zane Smith,
absolutely
Ryan
insane.
Priest. Some of these names up here are not normal names.
Bubba
up
Wallace
here.
in the 7.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace, by virtue of actually just finishing the race, got himself a top 10 finish again because he was not in a great position heading into the first overtime, and then just the fact he didn't get involved in a wreck and didn't run out of gas, he got himself a top 10 finish. So great job for Bubba Wallace. That will definitely help him in the playoff standings. But yeah, really, I mean, towards the end of the race, Denny Hamlin pretty much had it in the bag, and then just because of all the things that happened, he had to pit and take gas. So he took himself out of the race, but it was really wide open. And, I have to say this has probably been one of the crazier years with just the volume of different people who are getting wins. I mean, Daniel Suarez got a win and locked himself in. I would have never guessed that at the beginning of the season. I mean, it's pretty crazy. For the amount of guys who have multiple wins on the year, I mean, the top 4 guys have 3 wins on the year. There's still so many other people in the playoffs, and there's still a lot of other positions for people to get themselves into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Chase, like, looking at this, like Martin Truex Jr. without a win is like surprising to me. Is that not you?
No, I would agree with that because he's had some horrible finishes, and not because of bad performance, just bad luck and things happening to him. And he should have had a win earlier this year. I mean, he at Richmond, he was on a lineup with Denny Hamlin, and he felt like Denny got the best of him. But I mean, just for not having that win to still be in the playoffs is really good. Ty Gibbs, he's been really impressing me all year. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a win coming up, especially this weekend, Chicago road race. He was dominant earlier this year when they went to Sonoma and had all their road courses in the way. Ross Chastain, another guy this weekend, probably could have got the win. Won in Nashville last weekend, and he got wrecked in one of the overtimes. He was literally running second with Denny Hamlin and had a better car than him for a long stretch and didn't get himself in there. Chris Buescher, again, he's been hanging around a lot of top 10s this year. Should have had a win and didn't get it because of a wreck. And Alex Bowman, definitely not a guy who I would have put at this point in the year to be in the playoffs. He just never really seems like he's been able to put some consistent runs together. But obviously, point-wise, he's hanging in there. But yeah, Bubba Wallace, 51 out for making the playoffs. I mean, he's literally been on a thread. If you spend some time on a Sunday watching a race, where he is right now is basically how the race always goes. He's just always on the cusp. He finds himself in the top 10 a lot. I got to give him credit for that. It just seems like for whatever reason he gets tangled up in a bad accident or a bad pit or just some kind of weird thing that's always pushing him out. But those other guys who are right there, 17 through 23, all of them have been really consistent this year. Carson Hocevar is a rookie. Todd Gilliland's a rookie. And Chase Briscoe and Josh Berry, the Stewart Haas guys, are looking for new rides. So all these guys are really in it, and there's a lot riding on this for them to get in the playoffs. So we'll see. It's going to get interesting. We have the road course this weekend in Chicago that's on the street. And 2 weeks out, we have Pocono. So we're getting close and wrapping up here soon and heading towards the playoffs. So the season's going by quick. It feels like it just started, but
I know.
Yeah, we're already we're getting there. So
sorry, I just went to the Truck Series. See who's winning.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, the Truck Series. I gotta say, I haven't talked about it at all, but I've definitely caught a lot of it, and it's been interesting. Literally, those top 3 guys, they're all 21 or younger.
That's crazy.
Oh my god,
it is absurd.
The only thing I know is how bad Haley Deegan's done this year in the Xfinity Series.
That's and she's not racing this weekend. Joey Logano is filling her in. But by the way, I got to hype up Joey Logano. I think he's one of the only active drivers from Connecticut. So if you have anyone to put your eggs in the basket for, definitely say Joey Logano. Probably that guy, 2-time champ. Locked himself in the playoffs again. I'm pretty sure he's had a streak where he's had a win in 12 straight years or something like that. So pretty legit, Joey Logano.
If I ever get NASCAR cards, more NASCAR cards, it's going to be Joey Logano.
Yeah, I mean, there could be more. That's just the one who I know off the top of my head for money's sake is definitely from Connecticut.
Oh, Middletown.
Yeah, Middletown.
Where that is?
No, but it's probably in Connecticut somewhere.
Wait, who's his crew chief again? Go up. Oh, it's Paul Wolf. That's right.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, on that note, Yeah, I think we'll end at least Spotify can stay for the quick after hours on YouTube. But yeah, it's been I think we've had a really good episode today. Talked a lot of good stuff, and I hope you guys enjoy. Episode 72 is going to be coming in hot next week.
Yeah. From the free agencies to Paul George, the MLB to Paul George to some great NASCAR and WNBA updates to the Sixers getting Paul George. Episode 71, Ben Ryan Chase out. See y'all next week. All right, now we're back to after hours.
Still here. All right, you guys ready to do the Immaculate Grid?
Quick? Anyone on Instagram or YouTube still watching? If you want to do the Immaculate Grid.
Yeah, we saw a few of you guys on Instagram popping in, so we do appreciate it. So feel free.
Who we got? Who's on Instagram? Give them some shout outs.
Yeah, we saw some join. We had Fresh Todd EF joined, Jilly429 and D Fizzle. So all you guys, appreciate you guys joining.
Yes. It's Fresh Tood.
Fresh Tood EF. Sorry about that.
Fresh Toodif.
All right. Immaculate Grid time. You ready?
I
can see it.
I'll go blind this week.
All right.
You might do it better without looking.
All the Mets. Oh, I call the Mets slot.
You call the Mets slot?
I feel like I can come up with some names here.
All right. All right, I call the played right field slot.
Oh my god.
All right, we'll go Steve Traxel.
Oh yeah, that's juicy.
Also, I'm pretty sure that Troy Hawkins fits in the Rockies Giants and Mets Rockies, FYI.
Well, that's good to know. Then we have that in the back of our head.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to play left field for the Mets. I'm going to go Andy Chavez.
Okay, right field for the Rockies. Is that Carlos Delgado?
I think you're thinking of Carlos Gonzalez.
Oh, yes, Carlos Gonzalez.
Yeah, that's probably a good one.
Where did Delgado?
Was it Gonzalez a right fielder? I think he was. Yeah. Delgado was on the Mets. He was a first baseman and the Blue Jays.
That's right.
But no, that's
Cargo.
Rockies, San Fran.
So LaTroy Hawkins fits there. I can probably come up with someone else for the Mets Rockies. Lindor. Oh, almost just hit a second home run to tie the game. Okay, let's go Ty Wigington. And then we can go LaTroy Hawkins here.
Ben, you're carrying this.
All right.
You're carrying this grid right now.
What about the Mets?
Played right field one game, played left field one game.
It's just What about like Carlos Gomez or something? He's probably played a bunch of outfield positions.
Well, like Dominic Brown.
Oh my god.
I kind of like the name. I'm not opposed.
Oh, you know who actually is Raul Ibanez?
Yeah.
He actually played both.
Nice.
Juicy. Like what a stud.
Played right field for the Orioles, Nick Markakis.
Love it.
Oh, that's a really good one, Chase. Oh, this rarity score is gnarly right
Giants. Now. That's gonna be our
dude. Baldo Jimenez ever stopped by San Francisco?
Oh,
I don't think so.
I'm thinking it's gotta be our relief pitcher.
Octavio Dotel.
Yeah.
Again,
like a backup catcher.
like one of the old guys.
What
like
was
Frank
the
Robinson softball?
What was the one backup catcher that O's always?
Chance Cisco?
No, he was there like 2 years ago, before Rush.
Matt Wieters?
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't think he ever went to the Giants.
Oh, let's go! Mets just tied the game in the 8th.
All right, for anyone that watches this 3 weeks from now, they'll know exactly which game.
Well, it's on Spotify anyway. So.
I cannot think of a.
All right, play left field for the Giants.
Hold on, I'm thinking Jonathan Shoup. No.
Left field for the Giants.
What about like Cody Ross?
Yeah. Pat Burrell.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he played 1 year.
Oh, yes.
You wanna go Pat
Yes, easily. I should have thought of that. Pat the Bat. I got to get
Orioles,
his.
San Fran. Ugh.
Let's think.
Wait.
Thinking of some like Miguel Tejada. Did he ever play in San Fran?
Oh yeah, I think he did.
That's just That's
I like it.
I don't know. I don't know who else to go with. Oh, let's.
Boom.
Oh, a 39.
Is that a record?
I don't know.
I
if
can't
I've-
remember cracking a.
Keeping our
Yeah.
rarity score.
It does on here.
It does.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever gotten that. Chris Gossman or Kevin, sorry. Dang, that might be our best ever.
Oh my gosh,
39. We didn't. The highest one was these two 10%ers.
it's ridiculous.
Dang.
That's a pretty nice grid.
That's a
We might
really
have to
nice
post that
grid.
one.
Yeah, that might be a posting.
All right,
grid.
let's quickly hop on.
Oh yeah,
over.
I'll just quickly get through this.
Oh,
Oh, this is easy. It's Jazz, Suns, Ricky Rubio.
Also, just so you know, the music's still playing. I don't know.
I kind of forgot.
Oh, feeding the ducks.
Oh, it's like kind of forgot about that. All right.
Suns, Bucks,
This here.
PJ Tucker.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Suns, Hawks.
Suns, Hawks.
Then they just have like a bunch of people.
Bucks, Lakers. Did any of the Lopez's play in the Lakers?
I think
Yeah.
so. I think Brooke.
Yeah.
I think Brooke did.
Nice.
So little
Look at that picture.
I was looking at that too.
Jazz, Lakers, Lakers, Hawks, Cam Reddish. Lakers, Hawks, Cam Reddish.
Oh, Jess.
Cam Reddish. Bottom left, right there. Before I forget.
I just weirdly thought of the Suns, Jazz, Grayson Allen.
Oh, Ben, that doesn't help
I know.
anybody. Didn't Lakers, Jazz, isn't that Karl Malone? Didn't he stop by the Lakers at the end of his career?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a
one
booster.
team is Stockton. Is that the main one, or did he ever go somewhere else?
That's
Ugh.
prob-
Good question.
I mean, you could also go I guess a current guy who's new.
I don't know their team at all.
yeah, I think you gotta go John Stockton here and hope for the best. Thankfully.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, John.
Giannis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Or was Middleton always a Buck?
I don't know for certain.
I don't. Yeah, I feel like he was drafted by someone else.
Okay.
Hawks. I mean, you could go Trey or
Yeah, do
I
it.
don't know who else.
do it. And Hawks, Suns. Come on, back-to-back Immaculates. We're so close. Trying to think of big guys.
Yeah.
Shaq was on the Suns. Mari Stoudemire. Mutombo.
Was Dallin Bear? Did he make some stops in either?
That is. Do you not know if he played for either?
I feel like he played for the Hawks.
The Suns. The Suns had so many.
One of the Plumleys.
That could be it. Did Lou Williams ever play on the Suns? I don't think so. Oh, what the heck? Shaq.
Like Vince Carter.
Oh.
Did he ever play on the Suns? He played on the Hawks.
It's like he had to have.
I feel like we always forget about him. Corey.
What about Goran or Zoran Dragic?
I don't know.
It might have. What would you just say before that?
What?
What did you just say before he said Dragic?
Vince Carter?
Yeah, that might.
I don't know.
Who are other good immaculate guys besides?
Bogdanovic, one of the Bogdanovic.
Jamal Crawford. Did he ever play on that?
Oh, I like that. I'm in. Boom.
Oh,
Go
let's
ahead,
go,
Chase.
Chase. Let's
That was
go.
close.
That sounded really good when you said it, so I just went with it. Oh, Joe Johnson.
Oh my God. He would be a great one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a good grid guy. Jay Crowder.
I'm kind of curious just on this the rest of the Suns Hawks guys. Boris Diaw.
Oh, Vince Carter would have been on there.
Okay. Well,
Aaron Holiday.
Chris Humphries.
There's not a lot of
Oh,
names.
Frank
to it.
Kaminsky. I was gonna say him as a
Oh,
joke.
that's one of your big guys that you were looking at. Damian Lee.
Alex
Wasn't he like the
Len.
son-in-law of Doc or something?
He, I think, is married to
Or-
Doc's daughter. Yes,
yeah.
his son-in-law.
What's he been doing? Oh, he's still in the league. He just didn't play last year because of a knee injury.
Wait, what did that say up in his bio?
The Currys.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, he's brother-in-law and with Steph and Seth. Oh,
What the heck?
Also, dang. Okay. But he could be an option. Teams could pick him up for cheap because year before that he averaged 8.2 points a game and he got off the bench.
Is someone tends to miss an entire year?
And she shot 45% from three.
All right, let's go. We're perfect. Got to keep going.
All right. To the next one, WNBA.
We don't usually get perfect. Are you serious?
What?
You're gonna ruin it here?
What?
It's stuck on the other screen, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
Are you really? Can we at least just do the football first?
I'm gonna roll with it.
Oh my gosh.
We're just good. Just keep rattling them off. You know, Ryan Howard's probably in here.
No, she's not.
Well, Natasha Howard probably is then.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, we'll put her here then. I'll just keep cruising.
Caitlin Clark having 1,000.
No, she's not at 1,000.
Oh, she's not that good.
Let's go Sue Bird. All right.
Why does Super look like Monica from Friends?
I don't know.
I don't even know what this team
The
is.
Chicago Sky.
That looks like the Golden State Warriors logo. Kind of.
I'm at a bit of a standstill. Maybe Sylvia Fowles.
Oh my gosh, that was how did you come up with that name?
Because I have more WMA cards I get, the more players I start knowing.
The good news is there's less teams, so you should be able to just guess. Don't you have like your LaTroy Hawkins of the WNBA?
Natasha Howard's in the Troy Hawkins.
Okay, you're there already.
She's probably been on like 6 teams, and there's only 12. The Sky one and the Fever. I know one of their best players, but I think it was a center, so I don't think she. Let's go with her. I don't think she had. Oh my gosh, she did. These are high percentages though, but any ideas? We're at 7 or 6. Still have a chance at a perfect WNBA grid.
Tina Charles. She have a pick for the Sky.
It's a little sus, but we're good. I don't know. I don't know who. I could say like I know this lady did play for at least the Sky, but I don't know.
For 15 years, Ben, 1,000 assists. Ben, 1,000 assists for her.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna be able to come up with any other team like there though.
Yeah, but you gotta go for the 7.
Okay.
So, dang.
Junk. I don't know. Sky and I don't know. I don't know. You're like Diggin Smith or something here, maybe.
You would have gotten that right. I felt really bad. Oh my gosh, it was the alley.
Parker. Oh, that was a brick. I think I should have gotten that one. But okay.
They Quailgay fit in both those middle spots.
Yeah. I think she was around.
Ben, you can't say it like that.
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm sure.
Look at look at her.
Oh yeah, she got around.
Phoenix, Indiana.
Why did she trade? Why? She got. Wait, what the heck?
What?
That's so crazy. She like switched so much in the beginning of her career, then just got flat out waived, and then played the whole next year for like so many years straight.
Played like 9 years then for the same
The heck?
What?
champ, all-star. Second round pick too. I feel like to last that long in the WNBA as a second round pick, it's kind of intense.
Did her what? I wonder what her wife's career was like if they both.
Oh, Courtney Vandersloot's a really good.
Oh, that's so on brand.
I think she's still playing. Yes, she is. She's on the Liberty.
Oh,
Oh my gosh! So they met on the Sky.
Yeah, they met while they were there.
dang.
But I didn't know they were. Did they both go to Gonzaga or no? They're balling Gonzaga. Dang. All right, let's move on. Well, I'll take 7. 7 solid for WNBA. Take that all day. All right, last one.
Last one. All right.
Last one.
Derek Carr for Raiders passing yards.
Jimmy G for San Francisco
I
and
like it.
Raiders, Cardinals, Carson Palmer.
Are we going for the quarterback grid?
Yeah.
what about like was Kevin Cobb? I know he was on the Cardinals. Was he on the Raiders?
I don't know about those other ones.
Okay.
You could do Christian Kirk for Jags, Cardinals.
Oh, yeah,
I like it.
that.
Oh, it's a weird picture.
Does the boat have 10,000 yards?
Oh, probably.
If he has 10,000 yards, I'm gonna.
It's only 5 years.
What's that like? That's like what 2,000 a
2,000
year?
a year.
But it's probably years he didn't even have 2,000.
Yeah, maybe.
That might be a little sus. We could do David Garrard. Do you think he had it? 8 years.
That's better.
Okay.
You got it.
I was gonna. A little sus.
Did Maurice Jones-Drew play for the Jags and the Niners?
Mm,
Did he ever play with the Niners? I don't know.
Or
What about David Akers? Did he ever? He was. I know he's on the. No, I don't know.
what about what's his face? The corner who talks a lot.
Tyrann Mathieu.
No,
Oh,
on the Jags, the corner who talked a lot.
Oh, Jalen Ramsey. He came from the Rams, though. I think, right?
He came from the Jags to the Rams to the Dolphins.
Oh, that's right.
What about the Brent Grimes guy?
Oh,
You ever on the 49ers?
he was definitely on the Dolphins. Doesn't have 10,000 passing yards though. Oh, you got your Dan Marino, bottom right. Might as well. He's on my wall.
I almost clicked Dan Maritucci by accident.
Um,
I gotta see your wall.
Oh yeah.
The Mets have been in. Side note: the Mets have been in 2 straight extra inning games before tonight. So if this game's tied 2-2 in the 9th, if this one goes again, it's going to be 3 straight nights. And
they win the other 2.
They're 1-1, but they're also in the midst of a 17 day stretch of just straight baseball, basically till the All-Star break. So this is not the time. They're struggling.
49ers, Dolphins, Frank Gore.
Oh,
that's great.
Right? He played on the Dolphins, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good hit.
All right, then do Kenyon Drake for the Cardinals, Dolphins.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice hit.
All right, 49ers, Jags. God, I feel like there's somebody so glaring right here.
Oh, what's up with this? They're changing of the mic. Come on now.
Yeah, I hate it. I like the Mets little thing for it.
Jags,
Cat that got it. The Mets had an animation for the mic not working on the other team, for the pitch com not working on the other team. It's basically a cat that was destroying the thing.
All right, Jags, Niners.
I'm trying to think of
Blake Bortles.
I don't think he is. What about Blaine Gabbert?
Oh yeah, that
49ers?
sounds right.
Yep.
Oh, I'm not super confident. Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Dang.
We
Oh,
went
it's
20
Gabbard. Oh, Gabbard.
we went 27 for 27 on the big three.
Dang. Nice. Oh, no. Okay.
Oh shit! By the way, the hockey thing just reminded me. Remember how we were talking about Kyrie being Connor McDavid?
Yeah.
I saw a video of another guy that I'm almost certain maybe is actually Kyrie on ice.
Oh
Really?
my God.
Yeah, his name's Pavel Datsyuk. He just went into the Hall of Fame this year. Dude,
Oh my gosh.
you have to see the video of him playing. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Wait,
but
drop the name in the chat real quick. Just so we
Yeah. Oh,
We've
yeah.
been on for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we also didn't. I realized we didn't even talk about the NHL draft that happened, so we can always touch on that if we wanted to. All right, yeah, we probably got to go because Pep's also going to eat.
Sounds good.
But yeah, that was a good one. I didn't even realize we were going so long. So we will see everyone next time. We're still live, so we'll see everyone next time. Later.